So good morning everyone. Welcome to today's stream. So I'm currently waiting for the event to spawn, and after that we do the conversions. Reason for that, of course, is I want to get the legendary spear done. Have some progress already. And I want to do the conversions because it's actually quite rewarding, and I think in my opinion it's more fun than the other conversions. And I need a lot of materials still for the spear, and the conversions is really worth doing for sure. I really dislike this quest to do daily because it's incredible how slow it is when you don't have the event up. So did your account value increase by what you estimated when you did the wardrobe unlocks? So I don't know what I estimated, I don't remember what I said, but I did the calculation and I did the Guild Wars 2 efficiency update, so to say, and yes, it increased by quite a lot. So I had, before the patch, I had roughly around 790, 800k account value, and it dropped after the patch and after the opening. I think both of them did do their part because the patch also decreased value of a lot of stuff. So I had around 700k account value, so I lost 100k by opening the 2000 Blackline keys. And then after I opened them, after I did some of them, actually sold them, you know, some of them needs some processing. For example, those kind of things, Tyrian exchange vouchers, I have to click them and use the volatile magic and then buy stuff with it. So I'm not done with that. But even after I opened them and used the wardrobe unlocks, I have now over 860k. So my value is 60k more than it was before the opening. And the whole process gave me around 160k back. But I will do a YouTube video about how all the calculation is. I'm already into it. And I will do all the, you know, steps, all the calculation, the drop rates, and what profit I got and stuff. So for people that are interested, I will split it up and do some nice, calculation. I hope that answered your question. So in the end, it was profitable, like I expected. And yeah, I was just really unlucky with the drops. That's how I would say. But that's just how it goes, you know. That's why I would never recommend you to do this for real liquid gold, you know. So if you want to get liquid gold out of it, then don't unlock skins. There is no reason to gamble. Yeah, so you watched the 2 hours. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I mean, you have no, risk to just watch it. I have the risk so that I don't get what I want. But in the end, I knew I get a lot of stat shreds and could then buy them wardrobe unlocks. That was the whole reason why I did it, of course. But yeah, I would say takeaway is don't use blackline chests unless you want to unlock some skins in the wardrobe. Because gold, just from the raw gold, you get almost nothing back. Yeah, but I mean that's I think fine. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, of course. If you have no reason to spend gold in the game anymore because you have everything that you want, then the only thing in Guild Wars 2, because it's a horizontal progression game, is of course spending gold for skins, and then the wardrobe unlocks are worth it. That's why I do it, you know. I'm not even using most of the skins, you know. I'm just collecting them. That's the irony of it. I just like to be a completionist in that sense. But I guess that's fine, you know. Everyone has a different reason to play the game, and that's just, I would say not a lot of people actually have the patience to do this, you know, because you really have to wait for it to make it that profitable. Yeah. Definitely. I think that's why I like Guild Wars 2 so much, because you have, as soon as you have legendary gear, there is not a real reason to say, I have to grind for this, I have to grind for this. You can do whatever you want, and that is also a turn down for some people, but for me it's a really attractive reason to play the game, because I can play the game, and whatever I feel like today, I can do with my gold, you know? That's really cool. In other games, every few patches or something, the gear level is increased and you have to grind again and for the gear, just because then you can't play the game if you don't get the gear. And I think in Guild Wars 2 that's really cool. You just play it once for the gear and then it's done. It's really nice. But I guess that's not everybody actually enjoys that kind of content or gear grind, or not gear grinded. I think that's fine. So let's do the conversions. Like I said, it's actually quite fun. Let's see if I say that in 100 more runs as well. But yeah, currently it's okay. I think it's a little bit more immersive. The first part is way more immersive than the other one, where you just kill random champions. Yeah, so let's do it, and after that I will see what we can do. I have still a lot of stuff to craft for skins that I want to unlock, so maybe we'll do that. I will also want to play some PvP, but in the morning PvP is really, really obnoxious. I really dislike playing PvP right now. I will wait a bit more, maybe some more people show up and the matchmaking is better. Yeah, I think that's a totally fine reason to do. Sure. I think Guild Wars 2, if you playing Guild Wars 2 because you want to have, you know, you want to have more gold and then buy skins with it, I think Guild Wars 2 is an extremely grindy game in that sense, you know, because you don't get in-game a lot of gold. But the cool thing is that you can spend the gold that you get on almost anything, and also you get gold from almost anything. So you can just play the game and have fun, and then you will get some reward by doing it. I think that is really nice. So you mean in new elite specs? So with Soto they released the ability to have all the weapons, you know, on your let's say specs. So Chronomancer can now use a dagger, for example. And this is a decision that I would say seems, at least to me, that they will not introduce a lot more weapons in the game for elite specs, you know, because then it will get way harder to balance all this stuff. But at the same time, they also said that with the next expansion, they will have something similar to the weapons that they gave with Soto or the spear that they gave with Chantewals. So if it's in the same direction, it might be another type of weapon, it might be something completely new, and if it's something completely new, it could be elite specs. I have to be honest, it could be that. Maybe it's just a trade line, you know, currently we got Chronomancer, at the same time, we got the new weapon of shield for Mesmer, you know? So maybe they will just release the trade line and, you know, the profession mechanic and no weapon with it. That would be something that they could do. But I think it's still the most, you know, challenging for them to do, because it's probably way harder to balance the elite spec and create it and, you know, than just release a weapon that might or might not be very intriguing, you know. I would say the Mesmer Spear is really cool, but it's way easier to create the spear than create a whole elite spec, you know. At least in my opinion, you know. But I mean, let's see. In general, I would say it's hard to tell what they will do, because I did not expect all the stuff that they did, or not did, to be honest. So it's really hard to predict what Arena does. But I am actually hoping for elite specs. I really hope for it, because the weapons were nice. Yes, don't get me wrong, I like them. Especially the spears are quite nice addition to the game. The Soto weapons I don't like that much, but it's still not on the level of an elite spec. You know, when EOD came out, we had so much fun doing elite specs. Of course, even more when Heart of Thorns came out, the first elite specs. But the weapons just don't replace it, in my opinion. That's just my take on it. Which is fine, of course, if they can't make more content or more, if they can't do it, that's totally fine to me. Yeah, but at the same time, I would say it's for me a really good investment if they do it, because I get so much more playtime out of having new elite specs than having a new raid or new conversions, because I actually enjoy doing the old content as well, you know, with the new elite specs. So that's my take, you know. Also, PvP and World vs. World is way more interesting if you have something new to play, you know. Might be broken at first, that's very likely actually, but that's fine in my opinion, you know. I don't know. I think there are different opinions on that. I think, of course, if you play just one class, one character all the time, if you're a Firebrand main and you play that 24/7, then you don't get that much out of a new elite spec. I agree with you there that might be the case, but I would say if you play the game like that, then it's a little bit your fault that you don't get anything new, because I mean that's just, you play a really small part of the game only then, you know. And I think you should play the game in its variety, you know. Guild Wars 2 is designed in a way that you play most classes. You can easily create new characters if you want to. You can play all classes. There's no real reason to just play one class. And it's also, in my opinion, also designed in a way that you want to play all game modes. But that's totally fine if you don't do that as well. And I think that's the most impactful feature they can ever release are elite specs. Because you can play it in every game mode, you can play in every old content, and that's why I think it's just very natural that they should go back to that if they have the capability or the manpower. I would say if I did not play all game modes, if I did not play all classes, I would have quit the game longer ago, just because there is not enough variety by having niche, like playing just one game mode or playing just one class. I think that's not for me. I like to have a lot of different stuff that I can do, you know, and different perspectives on the game. And that's the same for different, you know, methods in the game. For example, in raids, I like to play different roles as well, you know. If I always play DPS, I only get to see this role and I can't understand the fight as well as I would if I, for example, also go for tank or something like that. So that's why I really think it's in my opinion really important to go for everything the game has to offer. So nice, I got the spear kills as well. Looks good. Yeah, I think that's I was actually thinking about that, about going for a second game, so that because the Guild Wars release schedule is not that crazy, so that I have something to do while there is no new content in Guild Wars. I actually was thinking about it quite a lot, but at the same time, I started to realize that I actually like to give some advice, or at least show you my gameplay and stuff. And then I started to get into YouTube a few months ago, and that's when I started my content creation thing. So the second game is content creation for me now, because it of course takes time to create the videos, to do the streams to some extent, prepare everything. That's what I'm currently, seeing as my second game. But in the future, I have to be honest, I want to also play other games on stream, just because I don't want to have my content only Guild Wars 2. If Guild Wars 2, for example, will go into maintenance mode soon, I don't know. Might happen, might not happen, but I don't want to be only on Guild Wars 2 focused. Yeah, I'm not sure if it will be an MMO. I think MMOs are really time intensive. Even if you start out Guild Wars 2, you have a lot of stuff to do. That is totally fine. To not play two different MMOs, but there are so many different good games out there that are not MMOs right now. So I will see. Currently, I'm quite happy with how it goes with Guild Wars 2. How, yeah, my content creation time schedule and stuff is. Let's see if I can keep it up, and if I have still enough, different content to do. Yeah, I think Guild Wars 2 is a really well-balanced MMO in that sense, because people that are quite casual only play on the weekends, for example, because they have a life, a family outside Guild Wars 2. I think they actually get a lot of value from playing Guild Wars 2. And that's how it should be, and therefore I'm probably quite sure that the next 3, 4, 5 years even Guild Wars 2 still exists. I think there is no reason for them to not continue like that. Because you can see the last two expansions, Soto and Chantia Wilds, were good expansions. I would not say that they were bad, but the content amount they delivered was actually not that crazy. And people still play the game, because a lot of people that actually play the game don't have a problem with that much content, because they don't play that much. It's only for hardcore people that they have a big problem with no content being in the game. Exactly. I think you should play a game for fun. And if you don't play for grind. If you play for grinding, then you can play some crazy grinding games, But Guild Wars 2 is way more easy to access for all people. Yeah. So let's see. I think I should play heal here. This boss is actually passively does a lot of damage. So shouldn't focus on too much at the same time. Yeah, sure. See you next time, I hope. Have a nice day. So like I said, I think actually this convergence is quite nice. The only thing that I don't like that much is that there are two reasons. First of all, I think it's sad that there are only 3... So there should be 3 bosses and there's only 1 right now. So it's only Decima right now. Which is a little bit sad because the next boss that will release will be 3 months away. So people that just play Convergences will always get this boss. It's a little bit sad. And I think the problem also is that you have to have a higher... if you go to lowest here, I don't see the beams anymore between the things. Which is a big problem because meta events in Guild Wars 2 have a lot of people there and your frame rate drops really hard if you play with higher character model limit. So it's really bad that you can't see the attacks anymore. It's not good. That's not how it should be, I think. But what can you do, I guess? And then I'm not a big fan of the boss jumping around every 25%. I think it would be way cooler if it's just the boss fight, you know, that has maybe changing attack patterns or something, but not leaves every 25%. I think the intermission phase here is quite fast. That's a good thing, but it's still a little bit interrupting. It's not how I would like it to be. So by the way, for all the viewers on Twitch, you get first of all drops. There's still drops going on Twitch, so be sure to activate your Guild Wars 2 account or connect them. And second of all, I'm doing giveaways every 20 minutes or so. So just type !enter. You have to be a follower on Twitch to win. But we will give away some nice Blackline skins that I did get from my rather interesting Blackline chest opening session. So be sure to press !enter like it says in the top right hand screen. I'm really excited to see how the prices of the legendary will change, the new one, the spear, over time. Because you could see the same development with the Oreen skins, but at first they were really expensive, and over the months, even weeks only, you could see that they changed extremely heavily in price. Now they are quite cheap to get, which is really interesting. I think that's a good decision to make legendaries that are not that expensive, because then more people can afford it. And at the start, people just have to be patient. And if you're patient, you get it for way cheaper. Let's see, Oreen skins. Currently Oreen skins, around 2k. And the other spear is around 5k right now. And it will go down to 2k, I think, in 2 or 3 weeks. It's down to 2k as well, which is really cool. I'm zooming because the essences give you speed on Warclaw, so that's really cool. If you don't turn them in before, you get a lot of speed to run around even faster. And then you press the special action key to teleport to the boss. Like I said, if you want to join the giveaway, !enter in the chat. And you have to be a follower to win. You will draw the giveaway winner in a bit. Currently you have really easy win rates, so you will probably win. I have to turn up my graphics. That's such a problem. You don't see those connections when your graphics are too low. It's a big problem for me. I don't even know what happens when you fail this mechanic, because it's an open world event or convergence event. It's not like that punishing as in the raid boss, so I actually don't know. Yesterday actually said they will nerf the raid boss. Really interesting, actually. I was actually not sure if they would do that. Because I would have guessed that they would make the raid boss at the first glance easier, but now they turn it down, so they did not expect it to be that hard. That's interesting, really interesting. I guess that's how it goes if you just have a small development team and no real testing team, or not. They have a testing team, but it's not that big, so it's really hard to test if the majority of people that play Guild Wars 2, or at least the majority of raiders, can do the raid boss easily. I think the most punishing thing about Decima, why it's so hard, is that if you lose one player, it almost gets impossible to do. I think one is okay, but if you lose more than one, it's almost undoable, just because you get 5 arrow targets and stuff, and and then you have still to get the greens, so it's really punishing. I think this design is bad because you don't want to be forced to reset just because someone died, even if it's in the last few percent. But I would say it's good to have punishing mechanics, because only then people do it, because otherwise they just ignore it, which is also not good in my opinion. Yeah, so we're almost done. Even on the lowest, on the higher settings, it's actually not easy. Sometimes you don't see it. You have to walk up close and then you sometimes see it. I don't know. So there it goes, perfect. So I have a really good tip for you guys. There is a rare chance in convergences that you drop the blood moon weapons, exotic weapons. And you can sell them on a trading post. They're currently between, I think, around 10 gold worth. And if you actually want to play World versus World, PvP, that kind of stuff, then it's actually worth it to just spend your World vs. World reward track on it, on the Chantivals reward track. Because at the end you get this box, and with this box, thanks for the follow, Nashi. Welcome, welcome. Don't forget to enter this giveaway, ! enter, and you can easily get some gold back. So this Chantivals box, like I said, gives you the choice of a lot of stuff, for example the new relics and also skins, and it's also the Blood Moon weapon in there. So you can get a selectable Blood Moon weapon that is an exotic that you can actually sell. So if you then sell the Blood Moon weapon, you can make around 20 gold, sometimes even, depends on the weapon that you choose, of course, 23. So it's actually really nice that you can get those weapons and sell them. So you get actually rewarded for playing the competitive game modes and completing the reward tracks. Of course, that will not stay like that, because a lot of people actually do it then. But in general, it's easily doable for most people. So let's do some competitive modes. So let's think about the new relic. They introduced the new relic. How's it called? Yeah, Geyser one. So 5 seconds internal cooldown, restore endurance to allies when you grant them vigor. 10 endurance, so that's 20% of a dodge. And that's not a lot, but if you do it to 5 or 4 allies, it's actually almost a dodge that you provide. 5 seconds cooldown though is hard. You have to go with this trade, of course, which is really tough sell because you will lose the stability. But then you have actually quite a lot of auras that you will grant to allies. But the problem is still you are Earth, not Arcane. In Arcane, or no, it's actually doesn't really matter. You don't grant enough vigor, actually, I would say, to make this worth it. I think it's a tough sell. I think, in my opinion, you don't play that. I think you still don't play that. It's not good enough. That's sad. Really sad. But I think that's a problem with the new relics in general. That they are some of them are interesting, like this one, by design. But even the niche that they are designed to fill, they are not filling as well as some just general good relics. And this is a problem, because then you don't run them. I think they should buff this. Maybe make it like, I don't know, would be hard to sell. Maybe reduce the internal cooldown or into the endurance gain. But yeah. You don't want to have a really broken build that all permanently dodges, I get that. But it's still more interesting if it's usable, you know. The only relic that is actually usable is the Dagger Catalyst one. With the Mist Tide or something like that. Where is it? This one, Mist Tide. Cleanse a condition from yourself and you successfully combo a field with a leap or blast finisher. This is really good on Elementalist, I would say. That's the only class that is really good with it. Because if you run it on a Dagger build, And then you actually get exactly this trade. It's exactly this trade. Just not for your allies, just for you. And you are side noder, so it's fine. And then you can actually swap to this trade. And then you are really tanky on a catalyst. Which is really fun. Because you're playing a side noder and oftentimes you might get outnumbered. And if you're tanky, you can actually stall them long enough for your team to make some good plays. So I think that's a good relic, but I would say not a lot of classes actually can make use out of it, because it's one condition when you combo a field. And not that many classes actually have so many fields and combos that they can do that reliably all the time. Thanks for the follow, Okok. Welcome everyone to the stream. So after this match we will draw the giveaway winner. So be sure to enter. Welcome Skywolf, welcome. Just a few skins again. Like last time, I have so many to give away, so just type !enter and you have a really high chance of winning. We don't have that many viewers yet. Let's see. Thanks for the follow, Clipshon. Oh, that might be a support game. Oh no. Oh no, it's time. I'm really afraid of playing support. I'm actually rather decent at support and I like Tempest, but it's always a pain in ranked. You know, you have people like this, I don't know who they are, and I support them and they might die 2 seconds after I rest them. So it's really bad feeling. But let's see. Maybe we can make it work. As always, set the character model limit higher, as high as you want to. And effect LOD off, that's really important, so you see all the skills. Because it feels really bad if you die to something that you didn't see because your effect LOD was limiting it. So so apparently we have Pri in the enemy team. Let's see if we can make it work and defeat him. Yeah, sure. I'm always happy that when people find my content helpful and I can give them advice. So yeah, I'm glad. And always let me know if you have something that I should explain in more detail, or make a totally new video about it. Just let me know. I'm always happy for recommendations, you know. Yeah, the classical no close opener.
Lost the quarry.
Time and space are my allies.
The waterfall is yours. You lost the graveyard.
Rebound! Rebound! Fade away! Serious.
Oh, the water cliff was a mistake. I should have gone for the earth cliff. Oh no, it was a mistake. Nice, I interrupted his cliff. Leave, please, leave, please. Yes, very nice. Very nice. Just have to concentrate here, so I can't explain that much, but generally as a support you want of course to be in the team fight. Currently we are a little bit split on the map, which is not perfectly good because we are outnumbering here heavily, which we shouldn't do, of course. Because if we do, we should kill them. Oh, it's a really close one. But we got the kills here, we should let them bleed, very good. Now I can maybe catch the thief here. No.
You captured the quarry.
So we have two people on me, which is obviously what I want, because I can tank them quite easily. See, if I get the focus on me, my team actually can clear them, which is really nice. So currently, oh, that was a lot of damage. Be careful, they will probably engage on me in a second. Now we have to be careful to not overcommit here, because that's, if you wipe them on this map, it's really easy to snowball. But if you overcommit to one point and they get the counter kills, then you can easily fall in the same trap as they.
The waterfall is yours. You've lost the quarry.
Nice. Looks quite good at the moment. 2 cap is smart to not go for 3 cap. We have a thief, we have a support. We can play easily for 2 cap. I think someone should follow there, yeah. It's not me never going a 1-on-1 as a support. Welcome, welcome. Yes, don't forget to enter the giveaway. It will be drawn after the... Oh, I died. Maybe they can kill this thief. Yeah, very good. No, they got the res. That was unlucky. That's the problem. They have so many condition classes. I did not expect the Condi Thief and the Condi Reaper. So it's a little bit tough to play Earth Tempest here without the Condi Cleanse trait. So my team was wiped, but we got close. So we'll not go mid now. They will now all go far. Hopefully they're far, or close. Hopefully I can make it in time to at least get some value to my team here. Yeah, looks good. Okay, we actually get the rest without my thing. That is really good. So I cancelled my glyph here because I saw that we actually got the rest without any problems. But now I still might die. Have to go kiting a bit here.
You lost the waterfall.
Where's my team? Now I'm alone here. That they just left me. What? I mean, like, I I guess I can stay in a 1v2 as a support. It's not very smart, but it might be enough.
Glorious combination of skill.
Maybe I get the decap here. Very nice, I got the decap. That's what you want to see. You have a high burst on me, very unlucky, I'm dead. But they got the counter kill, so I will rally. It's an interesting re-engage. Welcome, Roaming Spirit.
You lost the waterfall.
Fade away. Charged up.
Yeah, so you didn't listen to me, you know. It's not you should not go for black line chests. It's not smart. Yeah, there will be probably a sale on the Black Friday deals. ArenaNet always does some black line chest key sale, so it's really worth it to do so.
You've lost the quarry.
But of course, only if you really want to. If you have some really interesting takes, you know, so you should not go for gold. You should go for skins and wardrobe unlocks and this kind of stuff. I wouldn't go for keys in any other. Even if you want the spear, for example, it's not really smart to go for it.
Your base is under attack.
Interesting. Do we get far? Yeah, very nice. We have far decap.
Your base is under attack. Your base is under attack. You've captured the quarry. Your base is under attack.
God, the lucky interrupt on my heal. Oh, that was unlucky. Very bad. I should not have gone in Vapor Form here, but it's fine. Yes, so salvaging, I can explain it in more detail after the match. I have to concentrate now. But salvaging, the general rule of thumb is use everything, the copper fat, and only use the silver fat for rare gear that can drop Actos. And if you have green gear with runes on it, or sigils for that matter, then you use the rune crafters. This is the general rule of thumb. Because the copper fat is just the best value that you can get. And it's also... But what are they doing? Yeah, thanks.
You lost the waterfall.
Sorry, I have to concentrate here. Where are... What? We are 4 people. What? Where are my people?
You've lost the quarry.
How did we lose the whole map? Where is everyone? we were in such a good spot. What? And now I'm dead again. Guess we lost it. Yeah, I think permanent salvage kits, if you don't have them, it's a big inconvenience. I think they are really good, and if the copper fat at least is also giving you profit by doing so. So if you have a copper fat, you will save money, and in the end you will actually make profit, so to say. Okay, we got the decap here. We are a little bit
You've captured
So
the
the
quarry.
silver fat is actually a permanent use for the Mystic kit, that is true, but at the same time it costs you more gold.
You lost the
So
waterfall.
the silver fat is a little bit more expensive than the Mystic Salvage kit would be, but that is fine for the convenience, I would say. But that might only be my take. I don't know.
Flying off. I'm exposed. Wash the pain away. Charged up. Protected. Ferocious fire. I am river and ocean. Aftershock.
I'm fine here.
Flooding. Supportive earth. Charged up. Wash the pain away.
I got the decap.
Taken the great
I
shot.
actually got the reflect off on my...
Fire to aftershock.
So I guess the better support
Your team
wins.
is victorious.
Bree is also streaming and lost. Nah, it was a close game. I actually enjoyed it. It was fun. I got a lot of DK, but still quite nice. Where would I be actually? I'm actually not that low anymore. Yeah. 77 or something. I see a lot of healing, almost 50% team healing. But I should not have died twice. That was definitely not worth it. Yeah. Yeah. So decay works, of course. That is. I get just decay means I'm still in platin like this. You know, I still have the rating. My matches are still with this. You know, but I will not be in the leaderboard because my effective rating is like this. So that means that my display rating here would be like this. But I don't care about my display rating. I'm just playing for fun, and currently this is my skill level, so to say. So that would be around Platinum 1, you see. Yeah. So I was talking about the copper fat. So the copper fat costs 3 copper, and therefore is the cheapest way to salvage stuff, and it gives you the best results for that, you know. The only reason why you would use the different salvage kits that are more expensive, so this is 60 copper, so it's 20 times the price of this one. So the only reason you would use this is if you want to have the rarer materials. And the rarer materials, 10% chance here and 25% chance here. The rarer materials are the Ectos. And therefore, you should use the Silver Fat or the Mystic Salvage Kit for that matter on rare equipment that is over level 78, I think, so that it can drop Ectos. And then, this is the only thing where I would use the Silver Fat, or on exotics, if you want to salvage exotics, you should also use this. And on rare, on green gear, you should use the Rune Crafters, because it will give you a higher chance of getting those, how they are called, symbols and, you know, those kind of stuff, symbols and charms. But now I'm already in the bank. I wanted to do the giveaway. Be sure to enter. You have to be a follower to win. Exclamation mark enter in the chat. For 2 skins. No, not the same. So we're going for those 2 skins here. Around 40 gold. So I hope you're all entered. Quite good chances to win, I guess. Like I said, you have to be a follower to win. So don't forget to follow before I draw the winner here. And then yeah, I mean this this is what I mean. So sometimes you get really lucky with the spear, you know. You get the spear in the first few tries, and then are people that really want the spear, you know, opening 50 chests and don't get it, you know. That's just how RNG is, you know. Okay, so now I'm Alvitor. Enough talking. So, congratulations, Phantom. Yes, you got it this time. So, just let me know your account name. I think you also, I also have you on the list somewhere, but make sure, yeah. But we will do more giveaways in the future. So, Phantom, just let me know your account name, and then I will start the next giveaway as well. Very good. Congrats. Yes, very nice. So there you go. And then we will do the next giveaway in a few minutes again. Let me start it up. Again, it's up now. So just exclamation mark enter to enter. You have to be a follower on Twitch to win. Sorry to you YouTube viewers. Thanks for the follow, by the way. I did not notice it. Baby Yaga. And Ubu and Levelol. Thanks a lot for all your follows. And let's see what can we do next. I wanted to do some World vs. World as well. So this was actually a fun match. I did not expect that this was such a close, but fun match. I expected a more boring match. As a support, it's either you can't support your team at all because they just keep dying, or they are good enough and then we win easily. But at this time it was actually really close. It was a fun match. I did not expect it in the morning. Normally in the morning the matches are really bad. But sometimes you get lucky, I guess. So a lot of you actually were there when I opened the 2K keys, but I want your opinion a bit. Do you want to have some nice video about only the opening? So some edited fast forward footage of me opening the blackline keys and doing some calculations at the end? Or would you rather have a whole video about the unlocking process, the opening keys and the calculation in one video so that it's more like 10-15 minutes long? Because currently I'm not really decided on that. And I think there are options for both, so that I make 3 videos out of it, or that I make one a little bit longer video out of it. So, because might be that you don't watch the video opening it because you already watched my stream to some extent. So it might not be that interesting to you. That's a fair point. But at the same time, some people might not watch the whole 2-hour opening session, you know. Might also be true. Oh, this is a burn guard. Yeah, I think stealth on my Willbender, I would actually really enjoy it. I hope they do it. That would be good. Because I feel like I get so easily run down as a Willbender. Yeah, you could see if I had stealth there, I would have easily outrun them. And now I was really lucky that I did not get killed there. Yeah, nah, jokes aside, I think Willbender is in a really good spot now. They should not buff it at all. I think I got a really hot take on YouTube from one guy that the relics that they released with this patch are gonna be nerfed soon. I was actually not really sure if it was a joke because they are not good at all, I feel like. So, why would they get nerfed? I mean, that's actually interesting. Yeah, I think Willbender needs some nerfs, that is true. I think a lot of other classes, like for example Scylla points out, I think Bladesworn needs some reworks. It's a problem, in my opinion. Also, for example, I think Weaver, the only Weaver that you can play is some kind of fresh air Weaver, but I feel like a Fire Weaver would be so fun for a lot of people. I really enjoy Fire Weaver. I think they have to rework how, for example, the stance trait gives you protection, but it's only 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I really hope they rework that to give stability, for example. That would be way better. So, something like that. And yeah, I think that's the crazy thing, Roaming Spirit. Tempest is by design a supportive spec, I would say. You know, you can play at DPS Tempest, but I would say from the core design, it's a support. And even the supportive design spec is way better than the selfish Weaver spec. Weaver doesn't have any support capabilities anymore. And it's still worse than the supportive spec, which is crazy. It's just crazy. But I have to be honest, I am actually really disappointed in the balance team lately because they have the same balance cadence, so they do balance every 3 months. But the last balance patch, or the last 2, were really small and not that impactful. And I really hope they change that and there are more crazy nerfs and crazy buffs. I made a whole 30-minute video on my YouTube about it, where I talk about the balance manifesto that they have and how they should change it. But I really think it's not working. I think it's not working. We have the same classes played for years. It's not changing. Most of the time it's even the same builds, you know. There was a time when Nade Scrapper, or Nade Engineer in general, was used in PvP. This time was 3 years or something in the end. 3 years. For 3 years, Engineer with Nades was played. And then there was a meta swap, and then it's the same meta ever since this. So it's really boring. I think there should be more changes, at least in the competitive modes. I think Tempest is to some extent even better than Catalyst now, yes. There are people, for example, Azadom plays really well a Tempest side note in PvP. So Tempest can be really good. Tempest is a good supporter now. Tempest is actually a good side noder as well. I think Dagger Catalyst might still be the best side noder. But let's see, tonight is the monthly AT. So we will see if it's what the people are playing, you know. I heard some rumors that Bunker DH is still very good and a lot of people want to run Bunker DH. That's quite interesting. Let me hydrate for a second. Yeah, we will draw the winner of the giveaway in 5 minutes or so. Be sure to enter, !enter, and you have to be a Twitch follower, of course, to win. So, I heard Bunker DH is really strong. I still think that Chronomancer is really good. The nerfs were not really crazy enough. I think people still play Tempest as a support, because Tempest is really good in a really good spot now. And Bunker DH may be even used in the finals and stuff like last time, just because it's such an obnoxious build. And we will probably get slow matches again, which is okay. I think to watch slow matches can be a bit painful, but it's better than a bunker meta, which is currently hopefully not the case. And really fast matches might be fun to watch to experienced people, but I think for new players it's not good if it's really fast paced. So if you get one shot even in competitive modes, in competitive games, so 5v5s, ATs, if you get easily one shot, then I think something is wrong. That should not be the case. That you get one shot left and right all the time. I think then it's too fast paced, because a new player has to have time to adapt to skills and stuff. If they get one shot in 0.1 second, then it's not, they can't learn that much from how they lost or what killed them. I think that's really important to make a decision as a balance def that you don't want to have that in the game, at least in my opinion. Because in the end, we all started out as new players, and if you don't have any opportunity to get better, it's bad. You know, we don't get any new blood in the game, and the game that is quite old now will not get more people, and therefore the community will die out in the end, which is not good. Yeah, something like that. So the Condi Bunker DH is actually, I think, is also a creation by Safish Strondlo, this guy. And he plays that kind of stuff, and it's extremely obnoxious. It is tanky, and it does a lot of damage as well. I'm not sure how he always comes up with those kind of builds, but it's not fun to play against it, I can tell you. Yeah. So I think the next balance patch is in February, January. I'm not sure, but that's quite a while out still, which is obviously quite sad, because I would say the latest balance patches were not that good, and I really hope that the next one is at least semi-decent. And if it's not, we have even more. We have then 5 months to wait until the next big balance patch. So I'm really having my hopes up that it's a big change, a game changer, so to say. Let's see. Yeah, the pistol is really, no one plays pistol on Guardian in competitive modes, but that's also the reason why it's so hard to, you don't know when to dodge and stuff, you know, that's really annoying. And it also has a knockback, so it can be used as a decap build as well, so that's really annoying. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you see, it's even February, not January, so it will be even longer when we have to wait. We'll probably somewhere around the 90 days mark when the next patch drops. So I made a video about how I feel about the patch, but what do you think about the patch? Do you think the patch was interesting, too small, good enough? What do you think about the patch? Yeah, so Scylla, I totally agree with you there. There was a really nice solo build for Mirage with Dagger. It was extremely fun to play. And they nerfed the days, and now it's not good anymore. And I get it why it was extremely annoying to fight in competitive modes. And now they just nerfed it in PvE as well. I don't know if they have a technical limitation there and they can't do it, or if it's just, you know, they feel like it's not good to have the really big days and not days split across the game modes. But in any case, I think it's bad that they did not, you know, address this issue, that it's in PvE was not that broken, and now nobody uses it anymore. It's really nobody uses it, which is obviously not how it should be, because it was a fun build. It was not broken in that sense, so it's really sad. So Roaming Spirit says that the patch is totally bad. Yeah, the thing is, they focused on World versus World in a sense that they changed stuff that was not really... I think a lot of people, especially hardcore World versus World players, actually don't really like the changes they did. Oh, there are a lot of people here. No, I don't go there. Because the changes they were expecting or hoping to get were reward changes in general. So a lot of changes in World vs. World, they expected to, for example, to defense events, to winning, that making winning more rewarding. Because currently, you know, look at the skirmish and stuff. We are really close. We are last, and those two servers are really close. But does someone care? No, no one cares, because it doesn't matter where you are. If you're first place or third place, it doesn't matter. You don't get any more rewards. You get more pips while the tick is going, but nothing about the match. And they were expecting to get some reward changes, you know? To get the reward changes, how you know, when you win, then you get some more rewards, and when you are losing or third place, you don't get that much rewards or whatever, you know, so that winning matters. Some unique reward, maybe something, you know, just something. And they did not address that at all, you know, they did not even talk about it. And that made a lot of people really angry, because they were just changing something with the guild and the siege equipment and making those infinite stuff, which no one really asked for. It's not a bad change in that matter, but it is way too unimportant, you know, if you look at the whole grand scheme of things. So it's just people were really sad by it, you know. And that's why the World versus World changes did not, you know, really affect a lot of people. And the PvE, I would say PvE got some... I agree that there was not that much in there, but at least it's some longevity content. Like the convergences, I really like that they have some long-term grind to it. We have the raids that are... Not a lot of people actually play them, but I would say I like them. So that's also content that you can do for the next years to come, which is good. That's how it should be. The only sad part is that there's no new map, which of course a lot of Guild Wars 2 fans really enjoy having a new map, but that will hopefully come with the next patch, a really good map. So yeah. I would, yeah. I would say that there was reason why they nerfed it Filthy Casual, but I would say there was no reason that they nerfed it in PvE, you know? The problem is that they nerfed the... What, that hit me at the corner, the edge. You see, this is a Celestial Harbinger. It's really hard to fight them still. So it's probably still one of the best, if not the best build for roaming. Because they have so much weakness application, I can't really fight them in a 101. A fair 101. Okay, now we have a commander with some people here. Yeah, hello, Daniel, welcome. Yeah, so I think it was okay to nerf it in competitive modes, but I wouldn't say you should nerf stuff just in the in all game modes at the same time, because Dagger at Mirage in PvE was just nice, but it was not broken. So the Convergence Roaming Spirit, I would just do the public version. It's like a meta event. You don't do... you just join in the public version whenever it pops up every 3 hours. There is this Convergence, and you just join, and then you have 50 people with you. Because there's no need to do it in a private instance. Yeah, so Mammoth has a question. I quit Guild Wars 2 by the 3rd expansion in 2021. I'm a PvP player. I switched to other games like New World. Now they're all dead, hesitating to back to Guild. So Okay. So if you only play PvP, or are you also playing World vs. World? Because currently I'm playing World vs. World, which is also some kind of PvP, but it's more open world. It's less balanced in the sense, you know. Because PvP in Guild Wars 2 is really balanced. So everyone has the same gear, everyone has the same chances. And here we are fighting really, you know, open worldish, and we can just outnumber each other and stuff. Okay, so yeah. So I would say then PvP is quite sad currently. I would not say it's dead. It's actually alive, but there is not that many people playing. But World vs. World is the opposite. I would say World vs. World is in a really good spot. There are so many people just playing casually like I am. I'm just running around with people in a squad like I'm doing now and getting events. I don't really, you know, have a hardcore community, but I still get to play a lot, and a lot of people are like that. And there's always action. I would say there is, at least on my servers that I am on. I always can find someone to 1-on-1 to have some big circ fights. It's actually really good. If you enjoy this kind of content, I would say it's a good time to come back to Guild Wars 2. Yeah. But don't expect any, you know, big changes in the every few months. You know, you just play the game mode and you have to have fun with it, and then you don't expect anything from it, any big changes, because that's not what ANET, the developers, are really delivering. That's just how it is. I wanted to do a giveaway. Yeah, let's do the giveaway. So I draw the giveaway winners, and then I will answer the questions with the expansions. Okay. So be sure to enter the giveaway. !enter. You have to be a follower to win. 1 time is enough, by the way, Phantom. And let's see. Give you a little bit more time so that everyone has entered. And now I will pick. Let's see, who is it this time? Yuan. Congrats to you. Please let me know your account name in chat. Get those two. No worries, we will do another one. Just in 20 minutes or so. And if Yuan is not here, we will do, of course, a reroll. So now I can answer your question with the expansions. So the expansions are a little bit weird. So I don't know how many, if you played the game already, you probably have the core game for sure, but do you have Heart of Thorns and stuff as well? Because I would say it's really important to have some elite specs. You don't have to have every single one. But if you just have the core specs, you will get farmed in World vs. World for the most part. Yeah. So you have, okay, then you have the most important one. You can, of course, End of Dragons is missing, but the new expansions are actually not that important in the sense that you don't really get a lot of value from them. So I think Johan is not here, so I will reroll. Sad, but that's it. So Boo. Congrats to you. I guess you are the next winner. So please let me know your account name. Yes, thumbs up. Very good. Yeah, core ranger might still be good, but I'm talking about general, you know, not all the elite specs are good. Yeah, so very good. Let me check if it works. Please confirm that this is the correct one. And then you get 2 hopefully nice skins. Yeah, I think there should be a sale. Scylla is right. I think there will be a sale for the expansions next week. So if you want to buy them, I think it's a good place to do it. Yeah, perfect. Then congrats to you. And I will start the next giveaway. Give me a second. And it's up. So again, Twitch follower to win. Exclamation mark enter in the chat and you are in. I will draw the winner in 20 minutes. So I would say you have Heart of Thorns and POF, which are probably the best elite specs for most people. End of Dragons gives you some more elite specs. You can buy it, but I would say the thing that is probably more impactful are two things. First of all, is the Soto expansion gave you access so that you, for example, can use your Dragon Hunter longbow on a Firebrand, for example. You would not do that because that would not make sense from build perspective, but you can do that now. So that is one thing that you have to consider. Only if you have this expansion, you can do that. And the newest expansion, Chante Waltz, gave access for all classes to Spear. So if you enjoy Spear, and Spear is actually, I have to be honest, most of the time it's balanced like that it's probably one of the best weapons for the class. Not all of them are like that, but most of them. So I would say Soto and End of Dragons are not really necessary, but I would say the Spear is actually quite good. So I would say just start by playing the game again and see how you feel, how you like it. And then you can decide, but I would say Chante Waltz is actually quite important to get. That's at least my take. And in the end, if you enjoy the game, it's not that expensive to get all expansions, especially when they're on sale. Because you can buy the bundle, and I'm not sure how much it is, but it's actually... So I would say, in the end, if you like the game and if you want to play World vs. World at its fullest, so to say, I would say just buy the bundle of all the expansions when it's on sale. Because it's not that expensive, you know. If you look at subscription games like WoW or Final Fantasy, it's actually only a few months and you have it back in, and then you can play Guild Wars for all the time that it's up, you know, for the next 5 years or something. So it's actually insane how much value you get, you know. But, of course, if you don't like spending that much, that is fine as well. Just, that's my thought process. Yeah, I mean, but I agree with you, Roaming Spirit, that it's quite cheap, but people that might want to look out for their money and stuff and don't have that much to spend in the first place, I think that is a fair point, that you don't want to spend money on something that you don't play that much. I think that is totally fair. Yeah. I think, yeah, sure. I'm always happy to help. So I would say End of Dragons elite specs, I have to be honest, are not my favorite elite specs. But some of them are really good. For example, Virtuoso in PvE is just broken. And Willbender is currently extremely strong in PvP and World vs. World. So there are some really good ones. But for the most specs, it's actually not, they are not that crazy good. I would say most of us are actually running POF and Heart of Thorn specs. Yeah, I think that was a big downturner from the for a lot of people actually. End of Dragons or around POF, so after POF, before End of Dragons, a lot of people actually quit Guild Wars 2 because there was big, yeah, not a lot of people liked how the game was developed or how stuff was going, you know. Yeah, I think you are right there, Filthy Casserole, that there is actually a a lot of people, especially hardcore players in Guild Wars 2, that enjoy the combat, are not quitting Guild Wars 2 forever. Most of them come back at some point. Just because if you tasted the good combat, the really, really good combat of Guild Wars 2, then it's there's a high probability that you will just not find another game that has this good combat, and you just come back because the combat is amazing in Guild Wars 2. But that's just my take, you know. There might be people that don't really like the combat. I think, for example, Lazy Peon, if you know him, it's a YouTuber. He said the combat is good, but not great. He has played better games. That is a take that I cannot, you know, agree with, because I actually did not find a game yet that has better combat than Guild Wars 2. But let's see. I mean, I think BDO, I played BDO. I think BDO has to some extent better combat, but to some extent not, because I would say Guild Wars 2 is really the build crafting element and how well it fits together. I think that is something that is missing in BDO for me. But I would agree, it's a little bit more fast-paced and stuff. No, he did. I'm not sure what. I actually don't remember all of the stuff that he talked about. But he said, for example, he likes to have. He wants to play, for example, a staff on a mage, and it has to feel a certain way, you know. And for him, I think it was like the staff on Elementalist was not feeling as a typical staff or whatever, you know. So he did not get to play the playstyle with the weapon he wanted to, which is an interesting criticism, but I guess that's a fair point. If you want to have a special weapon and have the playstyle that you know, get with it, that is okay. But I would say the combat itself is really good. I'm actually not agreeing with him there. I think you can say that the graphics of Guild Wars 2 are not as good as BDO, for example, or as the new MMOs. That might be true, but you also have to compare it. Guild Wars 2 is from 2012, and so just look at games from 2012. You have Final Fantasy, you have WoW, and those games that were around at this time, and they have worse graphics than Guild Wars 2, I would say. So it's really unfair to say Guild Wars 2 graphics are bad, because they are just old to some extent. I agree that there are better games out there now, but in my opinion, it's not I don't really care if the graphics is extremely well done, because I enjoy the combat so much. But that's just my own, you know, my take. Yeah, I think that's a big problem, you know, that people... I actually wanted to do reviews of other MMOs as well on my YouTube channel. But it's really hard to make a review when you play a game not as much as I did, for example, Guild Wars 2, you know? If you make a review about an MMO after 100 hours, first of all, 100 hours doesn't seem like a lot for a typical MMO player. But if you play an MMO for 100 hours, then go to the next MMO, it's actually quite a time investment that you have to do for just one video, you know? So I can get the point why Lazy Peon doesn't have that much time in the game and has to make an, you know, thing about has to make a review after a certain amount of time, and that time is probably not enough to capture the game at its whole. So you have to make a game after 1,000 hours, of 10,000 hours, a review about the game. But it is really hard to do so, you know? And if you say like Roaming Spirit, you have to play at least 500 hours to make a review about a game. That's just insane, you know? So I need 500 hours plus the editing and the recording and stuff to make one video. You know how many videos I can do then per month? Not that many, you know? I don't have that much time, you know? So it's actually really, really hard to make good reviews about MMOs. That's just my take. So I don't want to defend his take here that I don't agree with him there that the combat is bad in Guild Wars 2, but I want to defend his, you can't play that long for making a review, I think I agree that you get an idea after 100 hours, but if you, for example, a typical take would be Warframe. I don't know if you all know it, but it's a typical loot shooter, MMO, I would say. And a lot of people say you have to play that game for 100 hours because then it changes completely. Yeah. And I played it for 100 hours or something, and I would say I agree to that extent. But for people that don't have that much time, that can play the game, let's say, maybe 5 hours a week, that would be 20 weeks of playing a game that they don't like or that they don't feel at the moment is good enough. And after that time, they will get to the good part. I think that is not fair to players to say you have to do that, I think it's really hard to say you have to play a game for 100 hours to make a good review. Hello, Jacob, welcome. So that's just my take, Okay, so I guess we are disengaging here. Welcome, Smiley, welcome. But yeah, that's just how it goes, I guess. Yeah, and therefore I was, let's say, a little bit reconsidering my idea to make reviews about MMOs because I don't have the time to play that many MMOs at the same time and make reviews about them. So maybe I will play a different MMO in the future and make more guides and more, go deep into it. But I think to make really long videos or reviews about games that you played for 1,000 hours or something is really hard. It's really hard. You have to play so much without making a video about it. It's not feasible for me, I would say. Yeah, I totally agree with you. That I actually am also quite excited for PoE 2. I will also try it, of course. Maybe it depends on how the game goes and stuff. Maybe I will make some videos about it as well. Depends a bit. I'm a PoE enjoyer as well. It has the same ideas like Guild Wars 2 when it comes to build crafting and stuff. It's really interesting. It's even deeper, of course. And the combat is way different. I'm really happy, of course, that they changed the PoE gameplay to having WASD. It's really interesting. But let's see. Yeah, definitely. I would say if you make a review and you don't, crawl into the game in the sense that you don't understand how the balancing is done, how the devs do their updates and stuff, then you can't make a good review. Because if you say, the game is really good because you played it, and then people say, nah, the devs are making some bad business decisions, now it's pay to win or something, and you think the game is still good, it's not a nice review, People will trust you as a reviewer and play the game, and then they get into the pay to win hell, so to say. So I'm not sure. You have to be really careful what you talk about as a reviewer. Mammoth, I would say that's way too harsh. I would say all classes are actually quite good. There is no class that you can't play in World vs. World, for sure. In any game mode for that matter, actually. The balancing in Guild Wars 2, there might be some discussions, but there is no class that is bad. Definitely not. In World vs. World, if you are enjoying a Zerg plays or a 50-man or 50 player or something like this, then I would say maybe Thief is a little bit worse because Thief doesn't really have a good build for that. But that is just don't listen to others, you know, play what you enjoy. And I would say all classes have a build that is really good in World versus World. That's just how it's designed. So there is no reason to think, oh, I can't play this class because others told me to not play it. I think that's stupid. You should not do that. And play what you enjoy, and that's always the best way to play a game. Exactly, you can even play Spectre as a support in Zerg if you do this. But of course, I would say there might be easier options to play support. So if you're not a thief main, then you can play something else, you know. That is totally fair. There might be something that is more suited for you if you have a different, you know. If you like a support playstyle but are not bound to one class, then you have might have a better time. That's just a take that I would do. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that the classes are really different in design. That means that some classes feel really easy to play and some classes are way harder to play. This is definitely true, but you should always, that's the cool thing about Guild Wars 2, you are not punished for creating a new character and playing a class and trying it out. You can easily play a different class after that, you know, there is no reason to commit really hard to a new character. So, for example, I think Throne of Liberty is really bad when it comes to new different classes and new builds that you want to try. Guild Wars 2 is the totally opposite, you know. You can just play a new build, level the character and try it out, you know. You don't even need to have the best gear because exotic gear you can buy on the trading post and it's perfectly fine for most content. So that's why just play what you like and you check maybe some build guides on my YouTube channel, on some websites, what you can play currently, and then you will have fun, I guess. And if not, you swap to a different class. That's how I would enjoy starting out again.
Statistically speaking, this is rather rare.
Yeah, definitely. Nivox, you're right there. I would say roaming is not a good place to start for a new player because you will just get farmed by the overpowered specs or the people that know how to use them. That's true. But I would say as a new player, I would not go for roaming. I would go for Zerg play because Zerg play is actually really fun. You are just one of 50 players, so your, let's say, newness to the game is not a big issue, and therefore it's quite easy, you know, for you to get in there, in the action, just have some fun. You don't have to understand everything that is happening. That's really good, you know. Yeah, that's just my take. Yeah, I think that is totally fair that you say that some classes are by design harder to play. Elementalist for sure because you have more skills, but at the same time, I would say it feels, at least for me, it feels more rewarding to get better at something that is harder. Wouldn't you agree that if you play something that's really easy and you play it well, it feels good. But if you play something that is really hard and you play it well, it feels so much more rewarding because you are playing it really good, you know. That's what I really enjoy about having a different, quite hard build and I play it still quite well, you know. I think that might just be my mentality, but I guess it could be fine, you know. Yeah. Okay, so I think I have the giveaway for way too long open, so now we can do a draw now. So be sure to enter the giveaway, ! enter. Last chance, you have to be a follower to win. And then we will give away this too. Give you 1 more minute.
Oh, I know of a good use for this.
Thanks for the follow. Thanks a lot. Pop. And now Let's draw the winner, I guess. And it's X House. Congrats to you. Please let me know your account name in chat. Don't worry, we will do another giveaway soon. I will do it every 20 minutes or so when I don't forget. Please let me know your account name, X House. And when I send the stuff, then we can do another one. Yeah, I did start BDO, but to be honest, I think it's a little bit too much pay to win for me. I have to be honest. There are so many, and I heard from people that were way more hardcore than me in BDO, that it's currently on the decrease. People are not playing that much in PvE anymore. At PvP, it's not working out that much anymore. So congrats. So I think that's your account name, and yeah, let's go. And I will open the next giveaway. Okay, it's open. You can enter again. Yeah, I think it's fine in my opinion if it has some pay to win, but people told me in chat last time I talked about it that that it's actually also not that populated anymore, that BDO is falling a little bit apart, the high level PvP. So I don't want to play a game where people just stop playing it, you know, when I get to the end game. That's just not what I like, you know. But yeah. But currently, I really enjoy Guild Wars 2. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Guild Wars 2 is a bad game, especially if you're a new player. You have so much content to do. It's crazy. And even if you don't like PvE, there's so much stuff and so much different classes and just fun to have in competitive modes, you know. That I would say it's a great time to start PvP and World vs. World in Guild Wars 2. Yeah, I think New World made some bad decisions. I think New World would have been a great game if they would stayed with some original ideas, but they changed up a lot of stuff and people did not like it. So I would say it's too late for me to start New World now. I think it's not as good as it was in the beta, I would say. Yeah. Yeah, I think there are a lot of games out there that Guild Wars 2 could get some inspiration from. I think we should turn the stuff around because World of Warcraft a lot of times steals or gets some inspiration, I would say, from Guild Wars 2. And I think we should do it different and we should get some inspiration from other games in Guild Wars 2 as well. I think that would make a lot of sense. So Timo, for PvP, currently the best class to play for ranked, I actually made just recently a video about it, where I talk really detailed about every single class, a tier list. Be sure to check that out, it's on my YouTube channel. And it has a lot of aspects considered why you should play this class or shouldn't play that class in PvP. So be sure to check that out. It will help you way more than my talking right now. Yeah, I mean, I think that's also that's my take, you know. Stealing means that you grab an idea and then the others would lose it, you know. But you can't obviously not do that, you know, in that sense. So if World of Warcraft gets an idea from Guild Wars 2 and implements it in the game, and it might even be better implemented, you know, and I think this is a good thing. You know, that might be a hot take, but I would say you have to improve by looking at your competition, you know. if you look at your competition and get some ideas from them and make it better, that's how you win, you know? That's how you get players to play your game. Yeah? And why wouldn't you do that in a good game, you know? When there's a good idea in the competition, why not make it in your game as well? I think that's totally fair. In the end, we just get a good product in the end, you know? And everyone wins, you know? There is no reason to not do it. Ah, so you did. I would say Willbender is quite good in PvP right now. That's a really good take. And if you want a more slow-paced playstyle, I would say Condition Herald is quite good. Those two builds I would highly recommend. They are not that hard to play. And on the side note, you can also play Dagger Catalyst. Those three builds, I would say, the best builds that you could play currently that are not that hard. And they are really effective at playing and winning the unranked or ranked games. But of course, it's always, you know, winning matches is not dependent on the build. It's dependent on your skill. Because if people that are really good play bad builds, they will still probably win. Because skill is way more impactful in Guild Wars 2 than the build. That's just how it is. Yeah, I think they did to some extent. I mean, Guild Wars 2 did not have mounts at release, and when PoF launched, they actually did start mounts, and they actually have the best mounts in any game. I would say there is no MMO out there that has better mounts than Guild Wars 2. I would say, maybe nowadays WoW with the Dragonflight expansion and stuff. But in the end, Guild Wars 2 has really good mounts because they had the inspiration from other games. And I think they should do that more often, because that would help the game a lot to get better. They don't have to come up with every single new idea. They can just get inspiration from other games. I think that's how it works, you know? Yeah, I think I agree with you, Scylla, that BDO has some really nice and flashy mounts, but I'm talking about the design, you know? The design, how mounts are in Guild Wars 2, that they have skills, that they feel really different from each other. So if you look at the Raptor, and then you look at the Skimmer, and then you look at the Griffin, those are really different from each other, you know? It's not like they are just a different design in the sense that they look different, but they are really completely different from the skills and how you use them. That's really cool. And that's why, I mean, it's some really good thing. They took mounts as inspiration from other games, but made it way better in that sense, because they were just changing how mounts function. And that's really cool. But that's definitely, I think ArenaNet is really good at getting out those features, you know. If you look at mounts, if you look at, for example, gliding is also a feature that they implemented really well, I would say, when Heart of Thorns launched. It's extremely immersive in the game, at least in my opinion, you know. But that's might just be my take, you know. But of course, they don't produce as much content as they should to keep the players playing, and that's the big issue. I think it's not the content that they deliver, it's more like the content that they don't deliver. That is the problem. There might be, of course, some exceptions. I would say some fractals recently were not that... people did not like the fractal, the newest one, or did not like the newest... when Soto, the last end boss released, they did not like that one. But of course, most of the time I would say it's more like they did not deliver enough content, you know? Yeah, that's just my opinion. Yeah, of course, I would say some details like Scylla points out. I think the fishing can get some improvement for sure. I also don't like that sometimes the buff disappears at random points when you still stand on your skiff because you just recently used your mount, and then it's really weird interaction there. But I would say in general it's okay designed, you know. Fishing is okay. It's not amazing, I would say, but it could be way worse as well. Yeah. Yeah, they did a lot of stuff. I think End of Dragons expansion in that that's why I say I'm not really the biggest fan of that expansion, because they introduced skiffs, which is completely redundant. So why would you use a skiff when you have a skimmer? The skimmer is easier to navigate and is actually also way more fun than the skiff. And they also introduced shade bots, which is just a random thing they introduced and never expanded upon. You know, it's just you have the shade bot now and you get some more vitality if you use the core. It's really weird. It's really weird. So they did some decisions there which I would not agree with, or at least if they followed up on that stuff, maybe a little bit more. But currently, it's just why would you use development time for that when you don't follow up on it? So that's really weird. I don't get that. Oh, a lot of people. That's so good. I like backline hunting is really fun. When you're a roamer and when you're fighting in a circ, it's so fun to have some backline hunting, and you hunt the elementalist, for example, that is free casting. One more time and he's dead for good. Got him. I agree that I think it's not fair to compare the old expansions where on a 2 or even more year cycle. It's not fair to compare those with the newest ones that were on a higher or lower budget for that matter, you know. Oh, fuck, he got me. Really? Crazy. I mean, that's an interesting story, Mammoth there. So, what I was thinking is, if you compare Soto... Please. No, why would you stomp? So Soto and Chantier Wilds are expansions that are on a lower budget because they are on a 1 year cycle, you know? And End of Dragons, PoF, and Heart of Thorns are on a way longer development cycle. So that's why I would compare those three with each other and not Chantier Wilds and Soto. But if you compare all of them together, I would agree that the worst expansion is definitely Soto. Definitely. I would say it's hard to say if Chantier Wilds is worse or better than Soto because it's not fully out yet, so we have 2 more patches to go. But Soto is, from what it delivered for me, the worst expansion. But I have to admit that if I would have, let's say, the design decisions they made, I would say Soto is better than End of Dragons. The features they implemented with End of Dragons are just random to me. I think there is no big feature that is really selling the expansion to me. So I would say if I would go back in time, I would actually change stuff in EOD more than in Soto. Because Soto at least gave us long-term goals like the legendary armor and some meta events and stuff. End of Dragons was really weird with the stuff, at least in my opinion, you know. I think the mini expansions are definitely worse than the big expansions. But the thing is, you have to see it like this. If they didn't change to that, it might still be the case that we don't get any content for the next 1 year or something because they are still developing the next expansion. I'm not sure if that's better, to be honest. Is it better to have maybe a year or something of content drought where you don't get any content in contrast to getting less content on a frequent 1 year cycle? I think there are arguments for both sides, definitely. But in the end, we can't change it anyway. So we have to live with what we get, I guess. That at least is my take, Nivox is right. It's definitely a way to monetize Living World. Definitely. But I would say, is that a bad thing? Because if they didn't monetize it, maybe they would not get enough money, and they have to make more skins in the Blackline chests and stuff, or the Blackline gem store and stuff, which is not a good thing in my opinion. They should not do that because it disincentivizes people from really playing the game, just buying some skins. At least in my opinion, it's better to have a expansion that I buy for than I buy really flashy skins in the gem store and I don't get any skins from the real game. At least in my opinion, I mean, Soto is really... A lot of people don't like the story and stuff, or at least the second part of the story. And I wouldn't disagree with them, but I'm also not that much of a story guy. I don't really care about story that much. I just play the game because I like the game and I like the combat. I like the completionist elements of it as well. I agree that the story or that EOD was... I have to admit, EOD is for me really close. Soto and End of Dragons are for me both not really exciting expansions. But I think what brings EOD a little bit on top are two things. First of all, they have elite specializations. I think that was a really good feature that they lost with Soto. Soto just gave us weird weapons that are not used that much. And the second thing is for me is that I have the grind that I got with the Arene Legendaries. I have this title and I grinded it for it and it was really fun to do so. And with Soto I did not have that much grind. Of course the rift hunting is there. I did that, but I think the Legendaries are way more fun. But I think both expansions are definitely not the best. They are for sure the worst expansions they ever did. If you look what Heart of Thorns and PvF delivered, I think PvF was the best for the story, for sure. Especially with the Living World after that. So, yeah. I mean, let's see how it goes. Currently, I would say Chantier Valses, actually the start was quite good. The maps are really good. But the longevity of the content just came with the second update at the cost of not giving any new maps. So I think if the expansion launched with the content that we got with this patch, it would have been amazing, But they had to split it in 2 updates because they did not have enough resources to fully deliver it on a launch. And now we have the backlash of that because people are unhappy about not getting a new map and stuff. So I think you see that they are really struggling with keeping up enough content and creating, just anything for the game. And you can see that. Yeah, might be true, Skywolf, that you have a little bit of a different opinion if you play all of them later. Okay, so now we can draw the next winner. Be sure to enter the giveaway! !Enter. You have to be a follower to win. And give you 1 more minute. And then I will send the skins, the nice ones here, to the winner. Exactly. And that's a very good point by Skywolf. I think if you get people whining about there is no content in Guild Wars 2, most of the time, or almost always, it's people that are already at the end, that have 40k plus AP, that are extremely invested in the game, played it for decades, you know? So that's not fair to compare it to new players, definitely. Okay, so I guess you're all in. I will draw now. And it's again X house. Well, that's just how it works. Congrats. I guess that's it. You get 2 more skins. Let me see if I can find your name. Are you still around? Please send it again. I couldn't find it yet. So, congrats to X House. You won again. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have a lucky day. I guess that's fine. And it's not that many people that enter the giveaway, so the chances are actually quite high. Yeah, I think that's a big problem as well. That it feels like Guild Wars 2 is the ArenaNet, the developers are not focusing solely on Guild Wars 2, but we don't know what they are focusing on currently, which is a big problem. Because if we knew there is a new game developed that we all can play when Guild Wars 2 is somewhat dead, you know, that would be okay, I guess, you know. But if you have no real confirmation that they do something in the future, and we just don't have any confirmation about what they are doing, it feels really bad. So the giveaway is up and running again. ! Enter. Yeah, no problem. I always like to have some small giveaways to you all. And ! Enter in the chat. You have to be a follower to win. We will try the giveaway in, let's say, 20 minutes. Thanks for the follow, Darren. Welcome. Sure to spell it correctly, you know. ! Enter, not entire. Just to make sure that you're in, Ubu. Yes, that is a big problem. I agree with you. Thanks for the follow, Schneckerich. It's a big problem that the engine of Guild Wars 2 is based on the Guild Wars engine, so the Guild Wars 1 engine. So the Guild Wars 1 engine was developed in 2000 or something. So it's now 24 years old, and you can see that. They have a big problem getting big frame rates in World vs. World or in open world events because it's just too much. The engine can't handle it. And that's why they are probably going for Guild Wars 3, because it's way easier to develop in a new engine. Because it's not only about the frame rates, it's also, and that's the interesting part, it's also about creating content. Apparently, a developer of Guild Wars 2 said it's so hard to create content for Guild Wars 2 because it's just way slower than you would do with a normal engine. Because it's apparently technical problematic to create new content, you know. And that, of course, is a big problem because they can't create enough content because the engine is limiting them. So I think that's a good reason to go for a completely new game with a new engine. And I'm pretty sure they are going for Guild Wars 3 right now, because they are hiring people that are programming an Unreal Engine, you know. So that would be a really big step. Yeah, sure. See you next time, I guess. I think it's also interesting what they will go for with Guild Wars 3. So Guild Wars 3, I think, so I highly doubt they can make that change. I really doubt it. I think they can't just change the engine to Unreal. I think that's not working. That's why I suspect they will create a new game. I think they can't just say, okay, we flipped the switch, now it's Unreal Engine. I think that's not working. But let's please not be a mobile game. That would be so. Would be really sad about a mobile game. I highly doubt it. Yeah, but what I was saying is that I actually am pretty confident in that they will not have as many game modes in Guild Wars 3. I really don't think they will make game modes that are like so split from each other. So we have open world, we have instance content like Fractal and Raids, we have PvP, we have world versus world. They have so many stuff to deliver and make content for and also balance around. I think they will not do that in the future. That's, I think, one of the things that they won't do, and that might be sad for people that play those game modes that are not developed in Guild Wars 3. But it might make the game more popular, because then they can focus on more content for that game mode, or those game modes. I think, to be honest, they will focus on open world stuff. I think they will focus on open world in PvE and world versus world. I think PvP and maybe even instance content will fall. They will not develop this any further, I guess. Yes, I think if they work on Guild Wars 3, PvP will not be in there. It's too hard to balance and or not worth the effort if you see the current player base is around 500 or something over both EU and NA. So there is no reason for them to do that. At least I guess that. Please take that all with a grain of salt. That is my guess. You know, it's not like I confirm that it is the case. I don't have any inside information. Yeah. I think they did some updates to the engines of Guild Wars 2. I have to admit that this is a good thing. And I at least noticed the difference. I got way more stable frame rates when they did that a year ago or something. But it might not be the case for a lot of people. And also it was just a really small change. It's not affecting. You still get only 30 to 60 FPS if you're playing in a big circ, even with a good graphics card and good CPU. The thing about Guild Wars 2 is also it's heavily bottlenecked by your CPU, so that even if you have a really good graphics card, it only uses one core most of the time of your CPU, so you are still heavily bottlenecked by a single core performance of your CPU. So that might be why a lot of people actually struggle with it, because most new CPUs and stuff have 16 cores or even more, and then you don't have a good single core performance. Just so some technical information there. I agree, Mammoth, with you that PvP players are way more stable. They don't need that much content, and PvE the players don't. But at the same time, Guild Wars 2 PvPers there are not that many left anymore. And I would say that is a big reason why they say, okay, let's not focus on PvP. World versus World is way more alive, and it's way easier to monetize. You know, you can sell mount skins, you can sell a lot of different stuff for World versus World content, skins and game, and some new weapons and stuff. In PvP, it's people play PvP, and you can sell skins, of course, but I think they will not do it. I actually hope they do it, because I'm a PvP fan. I played most of my time in Guild Wars 2. I actually played structured PvP. It's true. Thanks for the follow, Guild Wars Bo. But I just think they will not do it. I think they cut PvP just because the player base is so small. I agree with you, Mammoth, that it is actually easy to do, but I think they will not do it because it's just the player base that they will get from it is too small. And I also will make a video about it in the future, but I think MMOs are really hard to have good PvP in that is alive, you know? Because people that play MMOs are typically not people that play structured and fair PvP. You know, you want to have some open world PvP where you can kill the enemy players or something, where you can gank them. But you don't want to have a fair match like League of Legends or Dota or something like that, or CSGO even, you know. Those have really easy entrance barrier to entry, you know. And MMOs don't have that. So it's really a problem, you know, that people can't really play PvP that easily in MMOs. And therefore, I think it's not fitting to have PvPs, structured fair PvP in MMOs. In my opinion, you know. Yeah, that's a good point as well. If you can have small scale and even one-on-ones and stuff in world versus world as well, in open world PvP, so you don't really have a necessity of having only small scale in PvP like it's currently, because you can do that in the open world as well. That is a good point. I think it's just the player base is so small in Guild Wars and PvP. Previously you had people that were really high level. When you had this rating, I was barely in the leaderboards, and now I'm easily in the top 100. You know, if you go down the leaderboards, you can see you don't even have to be platinum to get into the leaderboards anymore. You can be in the leaderboards with gold. You know, almost gold 2. You know, that's insane. Just how little people are playing the game. Yes, definitely. I think the good old days, shortly before Heart of Thorns released, where there was esports actually running as well, this was the good PvP days. But they did so many bad decisions when it comes to balancing of PvP, and just the new elite specs and stuff, it was really bad. I think, for example, a lot of people say Bunker Chrono killed the PvP ESL esports scene. That's just insane. I think that is to some extent true, and that's really sad. That's really sad that they made such bad decisions for such a good game mode. Yeah, Will Bender, of course, yeah. But that's nowadays, you know, that's 5, almost 10 years down the line. Yeah. So that's not the thing I'm talking about. It died actually before that. Yeah. That's just how it goes, you know. If the developers make bad decisions continuously, then the game mode dies, and that's just how it goes. And you will not be able to revive it easily. They try it now with push and stuff, but I fear it's not working. And the new push game mode will not save the day, for sure. And like I said, I have a balance video about it where I ramble about it for 30 minutes. I think the balance decisions they make nowadays are also way too sparse. There are way too little big differences that come with each patch, and that's also way less exciting to play, you know. Exactly. Nivox has the right call there. I think for a PvP game, you don't have to deliver content. You know, there are no changes to how's it called? League of Legends, the map. Just the map design will not change that much. You know, they have the base maps since the launch of the game. So that's fine to them because they have so many different balance aspects. They have frequent balance patches every single season with big changes. They have balance patches every single month, even to fix some broken stuff. And Guild Wars 2 has balance patches every 3 months nowadays, which is better than it was before, but still not enough in my opinion for competitive modes. And that's the important part, most of them don't even change that much, you know. Even the balance patches that came out, you know, are not really changing anything, you know. Most of the time in PvP, you still play the same stuff, you know. Since the release of Rival with Chronomancer, you play support Chronomancer. They could nerf it almost with every single patch, and it's still played, you know. They have to make more aggressive changes in either direction. So I think they should nerf broken stuff and buff unused stuff. And if it's aggressive enough, you have changes. But they are just too worried about those changes. Yeah, there were some changes where you had, with POF, where you had Bunker, Scorch, and that was not fun to use as well. So they had a lot of big problems. So they are now scared to change stuff and buff stuff that is not used because that might change the game in a bad way. But I feel like that thinking is not helpful because then you don't get any change, which is also not good, in my opinion. But that's just how it goes, you know. If the developer makes bad decisions, we as the players have to live with it. We can't change it. It's just sad. Yeah. 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 Yeah, this skill here has been nerfed, Whirling Light. This has been nerfed, but to be honest, the nerf is really small. It's just one skill of the whole damaging set of Willbender, and even the damage that they decreased it by is not that insane. It's still usable, you know? So why did they not completely destroy this skill so that you don't use it and you use something else that would change the build, you know? But no, it is just, you know, a small change that no one really... It doesn't affect that many people, or no one in the end. No, Staff Mirage is not good anymore. Previously there was of course that Staff Mirage side note build where you could permanently dodge and stuff. That's not working that much anymore. So you're fine there, Mammoth. But don't get your hopes up. There are always some builds that are cancer to play against. That's just how it goes, you know. PvP will always come up with builds that are, you know, not fun, just to make them to win. You know, that's how it goes. That's just how it is, you know. But in the end, I think they just have to change more stuff. I think that is the biggest thing. Even if they, yeah, it's just more is important, you know. More is more in that sense. But they don't agree with me there, I guess. Yeah. I think also the problem is that currently in ranked, you have a really bursty. Every single class kills you in a few seconds most of the time. And in competitive monthly ATs and stuff, you will see tonight is the monthly AT. They are playing really bunkery style as well. So it's not really well balanced in that sense, because in an ideal world, you would have something in between, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's just how it is, you know. I can't give more feedback than I already do because they will probably not listen to it anyway, you know. So yeah, I would change a lot of stuff about balancing in Guild Wars 2 when I would be a balanced dev, definitely. I think that's actually the sad part, Roaming Spirit. I think, for example, CMC was actually, I think, and Trick, those two guys were actually playing competitively at the esports days. They actually played the game competitively, and they still play the game. But the problem is that they don't change it that much as I would like to. I'm not sure. I don't want to get any, you know, false accusations out. Maybe they are not allowed or not able to do that many changes because they have to work on other stuff. I don't know how it is, you know. It always depends a bit on what is, you know, their boss saying and stuff. I don't know. But in the end, I would say they should know how it works because they play the game. Yeah. I think the problem is also that Reddit, the forum, especially Guild Wars 2 forum, it's really people there might not be the people that really have any idea how to play the game. That's the sad part. You should more look in the people that really know how to play the game. It's not, you should not always listen to people that are just shouting loudest. That's not how you should listen to balancing.
I need help.
Yep, that's interesting. That's an interesting take because my argument would be, Mammoth, that I would switch the balancing of competitive modes frequently, especially PvP, because there you don't have any gear grind, because you can easily swap your amulet and stuff. There is no gear, so to say, that you have to grind for. In PvE, I wouldn't do that much, you know, because people are really hard farming for the Ascended Berserker gear. And then there comes a new patch and you don't run Berserker anymore. You don't account the condition build or something. This is bad for them because they farmed it really long. Of course, they can stat swap that, but that might not be how they want to play the game, you know. And I get that. But in competitive modes, especially in PvP, I think there is no reason to not change it up so that people can go for different stuff, playstyle. At least in my opinion, you know. Yeah, that's just my take. Exactly. If you don't have legendary items, then that's a frequent balance patching that changes the meta, and the gear that is required is actually really annoying for people, especially in Guild Wars 2, because Guild Wars 2 doesn't have a vertical progression, so people are not used to changing their gear all the time. And then it's a bad thing for Arena to say, okay, we balance like this now, because then we get more people to engage with the content. I think that's totally wrong. I think people will quit the game then, because they don't like to have to go for gear grind. But that might just be my take, you know. So after this fight, we will draw the next giveaway winner. Let's see if I can get out here. Probably not. Oh, actually it works. I mean, it's fine if you say it's you don't want to play Guild Wars 2 anymore because there are some better games out there. I think that is totally fair. And the good thing about Guild Wars 2 is you can always come back. You know, there is no reason to say, if I quit now, I can't never come back to Guild Wars 2, because Guild Wars 2 doesn't have any gear grind, so you can just come back and you can play the game whenever you feel like it. That's a good thing. But in the end, it would be better to keep people playing, you know. Okay, so let's put back and I will draw the giveaway. Last chance, !end in the chat. You have to be a Twitch follower to win. We are giving away 2 more Blackland skins this time. Okay, I guess you are all entered. And let's see who wins this time. And it's no Coke. Congrats to you. Please send your account name in the chat. Don't worry, we will do another giveaway soon. So you have another chance to win. I agree actually with Mammoth there. I think Guild Wars 2 legendary design is really good in the sense that you don't get any value except from the cosmetics and the convenience. And the cosmetics, I think, are actually quite cool. There are a lot of ways how you can show your cosmetic things. So now, Coke, if you're still here, please let me know your account name in chat. And I would say the legendary armor, even if you don't like it, you still get the convenience. I actually go for all the legendary items because I like the convenience of having all of them. Even the runes, I have 7 runes, I have 8 sigils because I like the convenience of them. Or can you see the sigil amount out there? Yeah. Nice, 4 Wilbenders. Hopefully they're all in your team. That's cool. So if no poke is not here, we will give it 30 more seconds, then we will reroll. So last shout out, last chance. No coke, please let me know your account name. I guess we will reroll. So, see who wins. It's Uboop. Yeah, I guess if you have a name like that, maybe he got more coke then. Yeah, that's true. So congrats to you. This time you are the winner. I think you won before. That's okay as well. I guess that's how it works. So please send your account name again. I did not save it. Very nice. Maybe we get some different winners as well, you know, so that we don't always have the same winners. But if people leave, that's just how it works. Okay, so the next giveaway is up. Exclamation mark enter in the chat. You have to be a Twitch follower to win. We will draw the winner in 20 minutes or so. My food is empty. No. So what was I talking about? About the balancing and stuff. Yeah. I'm not really happy with how they approach the competitive scene in that sense. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I think it would be way cooler if they introduce more unique rewards in World vs. World PvP, because I feel like, I talked about it before, I think it's really cool that they have, for example, best of the best if you win a monthly AT, and they now have this crazy title if you won 12 ATs or something, monthly ATs after they changed it, you get those really crazy title, champion of something or something. And this is really cool, but I would like to have a reward that is prestigious for players that are not that high level, you know, that you, for example, for playing ranked or for getting good in this season, you get some cool reward, or playing World vs. World for a short amount, for a long amount of time and stuff. I think this would be cool, but they don't get really unique stuff out. There was good ideas or good things with the infusion that you can now get in World vs. World. This is cool. I think they should do more stuff like that. That's really important, I think, that to keep people interested in the competitive modes and have a way to make them earn something that is prestigious. I think that's really important, you know. I don't know. I think that's something they should really address, especially in World vs. World. Winning the matchup doesn't give you anything. It would be so nice if you could get a special... For example, why not give something temporary, like a temporary skin, a temporary title, because you won the last matchup or something, you know? Or you give something that is really cool, you know? Not only like a title, but like a weapon skin or something. And it's not for one matchup, but it will be from a league, you know. There was some seasons ago, years ago, there was World vs. World seasons. Why not bring this back in a good way and make some really nice, really nice content for people that want to have some competitive gameplay? Because World vs. World right now is just, you run around, you kill each other and have fun, but you don't care about you win or lose, except from that you get some more loot, because there is no real reason to win the matchup, you know. I think they should change that, definitely. I don't know. I mean, it's totally fair if you don't have that much gold, like Roaming Spirit points out. You don't need that much gold in Guild Wars 2, that's the cool thing. And I also, here, it's really important for you to understand that it's fun to grind for something, because in the end, you know, if you have everything, you might quit the game because you don't have anything to do anymore, you know? So it's really important to see it like that. The journey is the goal, you know? It's really important to understand. I think it's, as a new player, if you started a game or if you don't have everything in the game, it's really fun to go for something because you have a goal. As soon as you don't have a goal anymore, it might not be fun to play at all anymore. And this is a problem, you know? I mean, this is, for example, a really cool thing to do, to really give away legendaries just because you feel like you don't need them. I think this is really cool. And you should do whatever you enjoy in the game. Oh no, I got more. What? There's your Staff Mirage, by the way. So you thought you would be safe. No, Staff Mirage is actually here, but it's in World vs. World, not PvP. But I think I can win this. It's a weird matchup because I have not that many Condi cleanses, but I can win this. It's not that good anymore. Yeah, I got him. You always know when I land this and they don't have a stun break anymore, it's over.
I could use a hand over here.
It's an annoying build to fight, but it's not that strong anymore. They nerfed it. That was a long time ago. Yeah. But I think it's really important to have a goal. So I would never, if you play the game for fun, in my opinion, it's even more fun if you have a goal. You know, if you want to, for example, like Roaming Spirit, want to get the Orient Scepter, I think for me it would be more fun if I had the goal to go for it. Doesn't have to be this week, you know. I can grind for it or get it in a few months as well. But I would like to have the goal to get it in the end, you know. But that might just be me. I think having a goal in all the games is not for everyone. Yeah, back in the day, I know the build that you're talking about, Mammoth. Oh no, people are coming. Oh, it's this guy again. Back in the day, you played Infinite Horizon, Staff Mirage, and you had 2 dodges back in the day before it was nerfed. And the idea was you just dodge, and your dodges make your allies, or your how is it called, your clones dodge, and then you just get all the condis on them passively while running away and dodging. But nowadays it's not that good anymore. They nerfed the staff ambush a lot, so it's not good anymore. And yeah, it's just, even in World vs. World where it's not that hard nerfed, it's still not worth to run most of the time. Nowadays you actually play Power Mirage with Spear, and this build is extremely fun to play. But it's also extremely squishy. It plays like a Willbender, but has more dodges. But at the same time, it doesn't have the defensive capabilities like protection and resolution. So it dies like just when you look at it, you know. But it's extremely fun to play because it's extremely strong as well from the damage side. So there are some options there, definitely. But it's not that annoying anymore to fight Mirage, I would say. So Greatsword Mirage is, I would say you can play it. It's just inferior to the Spear. Spear is just on Mesmer is too broken in PvP. It's so good. Therefore, it's actually not Greatsword that you play anymore. You play Sword in one hand, and on the other hand you play Spear. But of course, if you are a Greatsword enjoyer on Mirage, you can still go for it. It's a very solid build. Yeah, Roaming Spirit, there was actually a Condi Mirage around, but it was not that broken, you know. And they nerfed the dagger anyway, so it's not good anymore at all in PvP. Yeah. Which is fine. I think changing stuff up is good, but in the end, it's just, yeah, not that many changes affect the game that much. So, yeah. I did not say it's bad. Please don't get me wrong. You can still play this build, but it's not it's not even close as to how good it was when POF released. What Mammoth talks about is a time where you had a side notch Mirage, and it was 1v3ing people because it was just you were dodging all the time and your illusions killed them AoE. So that's what it was. But this is not the case anymore. You can't do that. If you play against good people, they will kill you instantly because you just don't have enough sustain on Mirage. I know what I talked about. What I talk about because I did that. I tried to play this build. I tried to make it work, but it's just not working in the current meta. Willbender looks at you and you are dead. So. But I also think it's healthier for the game if you have not specs that are passively doing damage around you. That's not good to play against. I'm happy that it's not working anymore. It's not something that you want to have in a game. Got him. Welcome, handsome. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm actually also surprised that I did not see a lot of thieves yet. Normally a lot of thieves are around. Thieves are still probably one of the best, if not the best spec for roaming. But you can see I can fight them. If they are not that good, I can actually win them, the matchups. Okay, so let's do our next giveaway. So, exclamation mark end in the chat to enter the giveaway. You have to be a Twitch follower to win. We are giving away some more skins. And after that I talk about which is legendary you should make next. Only it's more. This one. And this one. So 30 more seconds. Thanks. that's the reaction I always get when I play Willbender. That's very good. Okay, so I think that's the time to pull the giveaway winner. Let's see, hopefully it's someone new this time. Nivox, congrats to you. Please let me know your account name in chat. So, yeah, I think Roaming Spirit pointed it out very well. I think Spear is a very good thing to do because you have every single class can use Spear. But don't get me wrong, Sword is actually the same. Every class can Sword as well, can use Sword as well. So if you have that argument, it's actually Sword has the same. But you should go for the thing that you enjoy more, you know. So if you like, for example, the bolt skin, you should go for bolt. If you like the spear weapon and play spears a lot on your classes because you play Willbender or you play Spear Mirage or whatever, then you should go for this, because it's always way better to have a legendary that you enjoy and not one that is not played by you, you know. So I would go for either spear or sword. Both of them are fine.
Oh, I know of a good use for this.
Yeah, it's just saying. I'm not talking about bolt only. You can of course go for the green legendary or the shining blade. I'm just telling you that sword is actually used on all classes as well. That is what I meant. Novox, please, if you're on chat, please let me know your account name. You have won the giveaway. Hope you're still here. And I would personally, if you have the time, the new spear is actually really fun to go for. It's a really cool collection and stuff. But of course it's expensive. It's really expensive. It costs quite a lot to make currently. It's over 5k, but you can go there. It's working. But the old spear is currently, I think, in the legendary starter kit in the Wizard's World. So the old spear is actually quite cheap to make now. The Kamo or Kohali. So if Novox is not answering, that's sad, because I know we had them in the chat just earlier. Then I guess Nivox, I mean. Then I guess we have to do another one. It lets you pick the legendary that you go for. Yes, it's not all of the legendaries, but this one has 4, and this is actually the spear is in it. I don't know which others, but I think this is actually the one of them, one of the 4. And you can preview nowadays the legendaries as well, which is really interesting. So people that don't see the legendary a lot, you can just see it in some kind of showcase. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's then a reroll. So let's see who wins this time. It's Sandy69. So please let me know your account name. You won. Congrats. No, I mean the preview. I think the preview is also about the footsteps and the animations and stuff. I think that's something that you can't really see in the preview window. At least, yeah. So I hope that's your account name. Yeah, sure. I'm always happy to help. Very good. I think we will do one more giveaway. One more giveaway. Let me quickly start it up. Okay, last giveaway for today. Exclamation mark enter in the chat. You have to be a Twitch follower to win. Thanks a lot for the follow, Yella. Yeah, there are definitely some options for legendaries. Yep. Thanks for the follow, Bang Branches. Hope I got that wrong, right, but I'm not good at pronouncing your names. So, I think it's really interesting how many. Oh no, I want to.
Bring them to justice.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, this stream was really intense, the 2000 keys. So if you didn't see that yet and you're interested in that, I opened 2000 Black Lion keys, and the results were surprising, I would say, actually. So if you want to see it, check out this my YouTube. I have it there as a VOD of my stream channel stream. And I will also do a video about it, so be sure to check that out, where I do all the calculations, you know, how much money I lost, how much money I made, where it actually was the money, and also the drop rate, so that people in the future know what they are getting into if you want to do it yourself. Yeah. But like I said, I did it not for the gambling. I did it, of course, for getting the wardrobe unlocks, which is the thing that I really wanted to have. Because now I have all the wardrobe unlocked skins. So those are a lot of people, but they are clumped up. Maybe we can get the kill here. I don't think so. Yes. I did get the ghastly grinning shield, of course. I got all of them actually. All of the skins that are in the wardrobe unlock. The shield is really cool. I really like the shield. A lot of people actually use it on the warrior, for example, when they roam. It's a really fun one. This one. It's really fun shield. So the video, I talk about it in the stream a lot about how I get this video, about this many keys. But I was just saving up gold and spending it on gems. And then I bought the keys when they were on sale. Yes, the idea of the stream is that you don't have to gamble yourself and you can see myself lose. So you have the fun of gambling without any risk. So be sure to check it out if you haven't already. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, so this was a really intense stream, and I think it was also a stream that was not a lot of people actually do that. So it's quite interesting to watch. That's why I also will do a video about it, you know, where I cut the interesting parts together so that we have a really intense YouTube video as well, so that you can see all the stuff that happened and also get the calculations. So how much money I spent, how much money I got back, also how much money I made with the wardrobe unlocks, all that kind of stuff, because that's actually quite interesting for people that also want to do something similar or just interested in how it works. Yeah, a lot of people actually did that with beta characters, that is true. But at the same time, I also think not a lot of people have 2000 keys lying around, even with the beta characters. And I think it's way more interesting if you gamble and you actually can lose stuff. Because with the beta characters, you don't have anything to lose, you know. And I think if you really have something to lose or win, it's way more interesting, you know. It's like going into a casino and not using your own money, you know. That's just not the same. I agree. For the statistics, they did it, of course. Yes, that makes sense. Just saying that I will also add some statistics as well. And some calculation of how much money it is worth and stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's not actually there's not a lot of content for the roaming currently. There's not a lot of people running around. A little bit sad. But Willbender is quite fun for roaming. It's actually not the strongest. In PvP, it's really strong. But for roaming, it's actually, I would say, it's quite good in one-on-ones. But as soon as you get outnumbered, it's actually quite squishy. So even a lot of people in the chat, I know, Willbender haters. But I would say for roaming, it is not that broken. Because it's not able to 1v1, to 1v2 or 1v3 as easily as other specs. For example, Catalyst can do it way better. Or Harbinger. Those two specs are even better. Just that people know and watch my stream if you want to get even easier roaming, you know, than you should do with Harbinger or Otherlist. Those two are really strong. Actually, I'm not that good. I don't think I can solo a tower. At least not on this build. You should swap to something else. Yeah. The roaming spirit, don't get me wrong. A Willbender can burst people in 1BXs. That is true. But it cannot survive 1BXs. So if you get outnumbered as a Willbender, you will die. One way or the other. Either the enemy dies and you win, or most of the time you die before that happens, because there are just too many of them. So yes, you can kill the people, but if at least one survives, you will have a problem. So that's why I would say you are not the typical 1BX. I mean, you can play it yourself if you don't believe me, but it's not that easy. If two people jump on you, you are really, with a high probability, going to lose very soon. Because you don't have that much sustain, you know. As soon as you pop your renewed focus, you are really squishy. You don't have that much defensive tools. Yes, Willbender is really fun to play. It has so many gate closes, so many jumps. That's why this relic also works so well, the Stormsinger relic, because every time you use a dash, it will create a damaging spell. So you get even more damage with that. That's really fun. Yeah. Yeah, Deadeye is actually not that mobile. It's more like Daredevil, even Spectre. Those are a little bit more mobile than Deadeye. But Deadeye is really obnoxious to play against because it can stealth so much with the rival. And it has so much range. So I would say if you play Willbender and you face a similar skilled Deadeye, you will lose. A Deadeye will win. Willbender is worse against Deadeye, because a Deadeye that is, you know, really playing well, it kites so much and stealths so much that you can't win. Exactly, Nivox points it out. If you have perma stealth, or at least close to it, then you don't need mobility because people can't target you. It doesn't matter if you catch or not catch a Willbender. The Deadeye doesn't die. A good Deadeye doesn't die to a Willbender. That's just my take. Yeah. But of course, you're totally right. Daredevil is also annoying. I think all the thief specs can be really annoying. I think Willbender is close, or is really similar to those thief specs, but at least it can't stealth. Yeah, that was actually fun when you could use your reflex on Warrior to kill people. That was actually really fun. I mean, you can still do that to some extent, but most people don't die from just one hit because it's not that crazy damage anymore. Yeah, that is a fair take to have. That to say that heavy armor classes should not be that fast. I guess that is an argument you can make. But I think at the moment you have to play what is fun and what is strong, and I think it's totally fair if you play Willbender, you know. There is no reason to say, I don't play it because it's strong. I think this is an argument I would not make. I play what is fun, and if a strong build is also fun, why not play it, you know? Yeah, I would say it's Thief is annoying, but it's not extremely broken in that sense. Now, what is this? Maybe I can kill this guy. No. Oh, there it is, a Mirage with spear. That was nice damage. I have to focus this guy. Of course he evades there randomly. Got it. That's an interesting fight. Nice, we got it. Very good. Yeah, was a good fight there. I was just concentrating. Sorry, couldn't talk a lot, but was a good 2v3. Of course, it was a little bit hard to target the Mirage because there's this grass everywhere and they have so many clones around, but it was working out in the end. But you could see when I'm outnumbered, I get a lot of damage passively just because I can't dodge all of it. And that's the weakness of Willbender. You are rather squishy. And if you're facing another Willbender, you might lose the matchup in a second because you get so much damage. So just keep that in mind, you know. If you can't win against a broken spec, you should maybe play the broken spec. That's just an interesting option you could consider, you know. Okay, don't forget to enter the giveaway. Exclamation mark enter in the chat. You have to be a follower to win. Last giveaway of the day. Yeah, so Soul Beast is actually quite nice. Celestial Soul Beast does a lot of damage as well. Of course, the Celestial nerfs in World vs. World hit it as well because you can't get for boon duration that much, but it's still worth it. Exactly, I think that is really important, Bonbon branches, that if you feel like a class is broken, you might try it yourself and see what the weakness is, because oftentimes you only see the weakness of a class when you play it yourself, because then you experience it firsthand. And this is really important, in my opinion. Because then you know what the weakness is, and when you don't play the class, when you go back to your main class, you then can adapt and try to cause the weakness or the problem that the other class have, and then you might win the matchup. It's really important to understand that it's working for every single competitive thing. Yeah. I mean, you can go for more sustain, definitely, but the problem is if you drop Spear on Willbender, you lose a lot of your damage. So big damage comes from Spear. Sword damage is okay, but it's more like the teleports and the utility. Spear damage is insane. The burst damage it provides with the knockdown and then all the empowered skills here. But you're right, you can go for more defensive options. But I would say that's not the playstyle of a Willbender. So if you have to play defensive on a Willbender, you probably already lost. That's just how it works, you know. If you play an aggressive spec and you can't play aggressive because you have to play defensive, then you don't win the 1-on-1 or matchup at all. That's just my think process. Scepter is defensive because it's ranged. I would say all ranged options are defensive in general, because a ranged weapon, you can go out of the heat of the fight, you know, and still deal damage. If you're on Spear, your attacks are really melee focused, so you have always to be next to the enemy and therefore take probably more damage. That's why the only other option, I would say, Sword is really good because it provides so much teleports, projectile reflects and stuff. I would never swap that out. But if you feel like Spear is not your style or you don't have access to it or whatever, I think you could go for Greatsword. This is the other option. But both of them are melee and both of them are really heavy hitting. So there is no real reason to say, we go for something ranged. I think on Willbender it's this build is just superior. For example, if I face the Scepter variant that you are talking about, I will just teleport on them and kill them, you know, so the range is not helping that much. Yeah. So, last chance, I will roll the giveaway winner in a few seconds. Be sure to enter. Exclamation mark enter, you have to be a follower to win. Thanks for the follow, Rasan Ritsu. Okay, I guess that's it. Let's see. And who do we have? Filthy Casual. Congrats. You wanna as well? Please let me know your account name in chat. And you get the last 2 pieces for today. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you are, but you won. That's the only thing that matters, I guess. So congrats. Nah, I'm very inclusive. I want to have share some luck, share some money and value to people of all experience levels, you know. Okay. So I hope this is correct, and don't be sad for everyone that did not win. There will be more chances in the future. The next few streams will be also having quite a lot of giveaways as well. That's it from me today. Thanks a lot for joining. I hope you liked it. Guess we will see each other. I hope so, at least. Be sure to follow, subscribe, check out my YouTube. You know the drill. Thanks a lot for being there today. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. Thanks, guys. Have a nice day.